Meeting come to order. Put me on. Yay,
Yay.
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 All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Yay. Okay, here we go. First of all, call to order, yes. Accepting the minutes from last month. Uh, anyone comments on last month's minutes? No? Thank you very much, Linda. Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
There we go, yes. Membership, is everyone, I think Emily has signed the oath because I saw her email address pop up. Everyone else who you signed, you did your oath again, right? Okay, great. So this is a done deal. I still think we're only 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only 7, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we're 7. We still have 2 positions available.
Okay.
So keep that in the back of your head. Okay, great. And we're gonna do climate smart right after this for a few moments. All right, first of all, we'd like to welcome the Earth Law Center back to our meeting. Yay. Thanks for coming. Thanks for helping us out. Yay. Here to talk, give us some guidance in terms of the tree ordinance that we're trying to pass. What have you seen work? What is some of your advice? We're kind of doing this a little, we're well, out of a limb here regarding our tree ordinance. So if any advice you can give, thank you, thank you. Any advice you can give would be very helpful. Thank
Okay,
you.
I don't know, shall I start? Should I start?
Sure, go for it. You're the first.
Amazing. Do you hear me well? Okay, so if you go, I shared a report, and I think the tree ordinance, if I'm not wrong, is at it's like one of the last point. So one of the things that we did to include the parts that you can see highlighted in yellow is basically we took some other ordinance, our existing ordinances, to see what was missing and what could be included. So the first thing that we did was include the Green Amendment framework that it's in the Constitution. Obviously, this is something that we do because it's the project that we are reading, but it's up to you. That's, let's say, like optional. But we think it's a good way of also educating people. So when you pass, for example, this ordinance, people are going to read it and know, okay, like we have these rights. Also, we included a small paragraph about the natural, let's say, the environmental benefits that the tree have for the community, because the first paragraph or section 2, that it's legislative intent, mentions only the benefits for the people. So it's including also the benefits that brings to the environment. That will be the first one. Then for definitions in section 3, we think including 2, or actually street tree fund, I think it's mentioned after, but it's not in the definitions. So including mature tree and street tree fund in the definitions would be something that we think would be important. First, because of the benefits that mature trees have, and the time and basically the money that takes to the city to maintain this type of trees. So I think it's important to make that differentiation. And then street tree fund is, I think, having that in the first, in the section 3 before going to section 4 where the fund is mentioned is also important. One of the things to highlight is that in the street tree fund, we also included the goal of the street tree fund should be also education, outreach, risk assessment. So we include some goals there as well. Then we have section 4. So we think, like, what we think it's missing, and maybe this is because we we are a nonprofit that works with nature, but is that maybe there is no, like, what was missing is that maybe it's having more emphasis, or like we added some or our suggestions were or intend to incorporate also damages, cut, curve, transplant, remove. So it's like more broad than the one that you have. And those are the incorporations in section 4. So it's like related to a permit requirement for tree removal. And this was partially taken from other ordinances. So I think this could be, maybe it's more, it limits more, it's more broad, but I understand, I don't know how is the, if this is too much maybe at this point, but we think in other municipalities, these type of limitations are currently included in ordinances, and they could work. Then section 5, the same. And like one of the most important things that we included is we changed the enforcement and the penalties, because we think they are too low. And there is one of the things that we changed, that it's like including a mature tree. So it's not the same removing a young tree than a mature tree. So we increased the penalties there. Also, something that we think it could be, that it's something, it's not, this is something that we innovated because it's not in other ordinances. But it's used in policies to basically create accountability in the town, that it's having a public record of the places where the trees are removed. So people know the areas where this is happening, and creates public engagement, public awareness, and accountability. Sometimes are contractors the ones that remove these trees, so we think it's also a good practice to include this kind of records. So I think that's a summary of the things that we included in the tree ordinance. I don't know if you have any questions from us or comments.
Did you, can you send that back to us with the ordinance record comments, or did you do that already? Did I miss it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you had the. Okay. Yes. I'll send it again. Let's see.
Okay. Sorry.
I was reading it, thinking that you have the. I'm so sorry. Let's see.
Maybe I missed it.
Report. Here. Let's see.
Did you see it? Okay, fair enough.
Looks like, yeah, I think she, on the 25th.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Different
I did
thread,
that.
I just found it. Yep.
All right, hold on.
Let's see.
Oh,
Sorry.
here we go. Yes, yes.
Oh, I
Okay,
see.
sorry. Thank you, Maria. Yes.
No, did you find it? I can send it to you.
I got it. Thank you. Sorry.
We found it.
No, it's okay. The important thing is that now you have it. So it's in the last section of the report.
Gotcha. Great. That's a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No worries. So I can briefly mention what we did in the report. So the first part is basically the arguments that we use to support the idea of using nature-based solutions and the benefits that have for cities. We included like I would say all the data is science-based data, so it's like all has been proven, and it's not like just an idea of okay, this could be effective, this has been proven and it's beneficial for cities. It's they are solutions that are cost effective long term, so and they have been applied for in other towns. So we think they are realistic. It's not like just as an idea, an abstract idea. And then we have the different policy recommendations for each of the issues that
Oh, wow.
you asked us support.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a lot for us to
Digest.
digest.
I know we've been through more than one round with the legal committee, right? In terms of the
Yeah.
previous ordinance?
Was there any update on the last conversation we had?
No, I mean, where we're at now is the latest version that we had, we sent over to Earth Law Institute for their comments. Now we're looking at this again. So in other municipalities that have passed tree ordinances about our size, generally what works?
The thing is that, like, yeah,
Is it someone we can talk to maybe in another municipality? And, you know,
I can connect you with, I think we used Durango and which one was, and Boston, like, I think, no, Boston, no. We used mainly two ordinances. In terms of what works, I think I cannot answer that with data. Like they have an idea or an opinion of what works, but it's like I don't see, and this is one of the things that we repeat in the report, that it's like there is no actual, like no one measures what it's working. That is why we propose doing this, like basically start measuring like the incidents to see what works and what doesn't work. You can start even like with a pilot project, like a pilot program in small areas to see before starting with something mandatory, or doing it with phases. But I can contact. Where is my pen? I can put you guys in contact with the municipality that we talked to build this draft. Where is my pen? Sorry, I'm looking for my pen. If that's okay with you.
If it's a liability, like if legal's worried, that it could always be a separate, like it'd be a pilot tree ordinance.
right,
Worst case, like if that's
Give it a
what they're
whirl.
worried about,
and see what happens.
yeah, we could ask them if that makes them feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, maybe if we talk to another municipality, can maybe give us some advice on what they've done. You know, and see what works, if there any lessons learned that they have, but, no, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries. And what can I ask you, like, what has, like, why the tree ordinance have, like, who's, like, what are the critical points of the tree ordinance that made that you still have like a draft and it's not, like, it hasn't passed?
I'm trying to recall what the legal committee was.
Yeah,
Few points that they're
even just a whisper of a tree ordinance, you know, gets tons of pushback from local residents. So what we've done is we said that the tree ordinance then only applies to public trees and not private trees, so that, you know, no one will get out of whack.
Yeah, I think there was some concern about the board that was initially on
And the
the
tree board itself.
about not having enough participation. Originally, we were gonna have someone from each ward who was represented, and that seemed overly complicated for people's appetite, so.
And
Kind of
enforcement, who's going to enforce all of this?
Mhm.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a small municipality, so we don't have lots of resources for enforcement or creating another board of people, things like that.
Okay, but like, what are the like the main arguments of why you have like for the pushback? I mean, it's because or what is the reason?
What's the reason for the pushback?
Oh, what's the
Yeah.
pushback? Yeah,
Yeah.
people think we're gonna tell them what to do with their trees.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what to answer to that. Okay. Okay. So I think one of the things that we mentioned in for it's one of the recommendations for native plants is like how create this public engagement. There's one municipality that started doing programs with schools, for example, to educate and have like a program of volunteers. So in terms of budget, even if you don't have budget, like having programs with volunteers and people that are interested, like with education institutions, like schools, universities, those kinds of partnerships help to at least start with something that is more like voluntary and move to a mandatory program. Sometimes that helps in terms of starting with these kind of ordinances or policies.
Getting buy-in from other groups.
Right, collaboration with other groups and public outreach to educate people about who we are and, what we're trying to accomplish here. Not just within the city council realm.
Right. Okay, so, anyone else? Next steps? What should we do? Yes,
Well, I was at a meeting last week in Newburgh, and one of the people who were speaking at this meeting about resilience in our communities was the head of the Newburgh Parks Conservancy. And this is exactly what she was talking about, making partnerships with other organizations for the tree planting. Rotary Club, schools, other nonprofit organizations where they could get their membership involved in doing things. They also got funding to essentially bring on interns, what they refer to as environmental justice fellows, teenagers who would work with tree planting and other community operations, which was another interesting. They provided workshops for pruning. How do you prune your own trees, not the city trees? And they also made a comment that I thought was kind of a sidebar, but they showed some photographs of trees that were planted fairly far in on private property, but they were planted by the group, by the Parks Conservancy, and pointed out, they made a point of mentioning that they get funding for the tree planting. And if that tree, when it's full grown, will cast shade on city-owned property, then it's okay.
oh, okay,
That the shade is really how you measure the difference between where the tree is planted and public property. But in any event, I think the representatives from there would be happy to talk with us about our specific legal program right here. They seemed like they had gone through a lot and had done some of the things that we're aiming to do. So I think that'd be worthwhile.
all right, well, that sounds good, we reach out to them,
Yes, I will.
yes. All right, so, thank you very much, Maria, thank you very much for this report, it's amazing. And, we'll have to confer amongst ourselves and figure out where we're moving, how to move forward with this. How to translate this into, either, an action plan or some sort of document, or how we're gonna implement this.
Sounds great. And I'll put you in contact with the municipality that we talked. So yes, and anything we can help, please let us know.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
I spoke to someone a while back from Rhinebeck, who's also a village trustee there, who had some feedback that she said she could share at some point with us about what she feels has worked and hasn't worked in terms of their tree ordinance.
Right?
And Socrates also has a tree ordinance. I could talk to their planner as well.
I mean, yeah, great.
And I know I think we started with Rhinebeck's and Socrates when we were originally the first draft, which feels like many years ago now.
Right.
But I don't know, I didn't speak to anyone directly. I don't know if anyone at CC at the time spoke.
I kind of think that maybe after when we get the climate smart off our plates, and then we can continue with a different subcommittee on tree ordinances, on how to implement this, because it's kind of a project.
Yeah.
This isn't some of the issue that we stripped out some of the rigor in the original legislation, which is what she's suggesting introducing back. Yeah.
Right.
And there's always sunset clause could come in where it's like, we try it for 2 years and see if we like it, and then it allows it to be a pilot program. Okay.
Right, a pilot program for time. We have a question online?
Yeah, no,
Okay, go ahead. Who is it?
yeah.
Oh,
Hey, can you hear me?
yes,
Just in case you're unaware, on my end, there's a horrible echo coming through. And actually, I can hear it as I speak. So I'm going to do my best to speak and ask a few questions if I could. But if I can't hear you very well, I'm just going to give up.
okay.
First thing, if I could, generally, I'm curious about maintenance of trees. Residents are supposed to be taken care of. I want to give one example. There's my neighbor down the street here on State, got a tree a couple years ago that's taking up, in my estimation, way too much of the sidewalk, but there it is. And they do not do enough maintenance of it in terms of particularly cleaning garbage out of there and pulling weeds when weeds need to be pulled. And I'm curious, since it appears that the Conservation Council is not approaching people who aren't maintaining their trees properly, what is one to do? I don't want to approach my neighbor and ask them to take care of their tree this year, but I'm on the verge of doing it. And I'm wondering if you can give me some guidance.
The responsibility of the owner, it is the responsibility of the owner to maintain their trees. So that's
And if
the
it's
answer.
not happening, does the Conservation Council get involved?
It's the person per private property. It's their responsibility. No, we do not get involved.
And if it's not
Okay.
happening, the CAC doesn't get involved?
No, we do not do enforcement like that. No.
I'm not asking for enforcement. I guess,
We do not get involved. That's the answer.
and so if the tree fails for lack of attendance, what do you guys
It
do?
is the owner's, like I said, it is the owner's responsibility to maintain the tree. Not the CAC's.
So
Okay,
somebody
let's
can
move
ask
on.
for a tree?
Yes, and they sign a waiver that says that they will take responsibility for it.
If they receive it through the city
Okay,
program.
and what, I guess, my next issue is a safety issue, two
You have-
safety
you have
issues,
2
actually.
minutes. You have 3 minutes, Bill. We have 1 more minute. We have 1 more minute.
There's a tree grate in front of 414 Warren, as you guys might know, that's been without a tree for at least 1.5 years. I know the CAC wasn't involved in that tree and you weren't involved in the tree grate, but I can guarantee that the city resident didn't put that tree grate there. There's now a 12-inch hole in the sidewalk waiting for somebody to step in if it hasn't happened already. Does the CAC have any interest in getting involved in this to see that that tree grate is either removed or a new tree is put in there?
That is a DPW issue. That is not the CAC.
Are
All
you
right,
guys
thank
not
you very
interested in
much.
putting a tree there?
We do not put trees on Warren Street due to the wires and all the conduit currently on Warren Street.
Well, do you understand that DPW is not responding to my pleas to fix that?
Okay, that's an issue between you and Rob Perry.
It does not reflect well on the CAC if there are tree grates, missing trees for years and years with holes in the sidewalk.
The
That's all I'll say
CAC
about that.
The CAC is not the Parks
That's
Department.
fine.
Bill.
It doesn't reflect well on
Okay.
you people.
Thank you very much, Bill, for your comments. We need to move on. That's 3 minutes. Have a good day. Okay, next. Here we go. We have. Okay, so next we have the EV charger grants. So we have, last year in, October, November, I put out the RFP for, we received a grant last year for $75,000 to put in additional EV chargers. We've gotten 4 responses. I conferred with Haley from the Capital District. I forgot the name of her organization, but anyway, so she put together a spreadsheet. We had 4 respondents. We currently, the least expensive respondent is PISO. So I'd just like to say that it looks like we're going to go with PISO for the.
What is
electric car.
PISO?
It stands for, that's a good question, where are they?
Oh, it's an acronym for something.
Yeah, it's an at PISO. It is the same guy who put in the charging stations behind City Hall. And so I think at one point I might have sent everyone all these, but anyway. So, yeah, so they're looking to, it's a whole big if. Because we're looking to continue with the charge point stations because that's what we currently have. The implementation requires, make-ready money from National Grid. Right now, there is a long waiting list for that make-ready money for this year, for 2026. Most likely, we're gonna look again in 2027 to see if there's additional make-ready money from National Grid, because we cannot do this project without it. The $75,000 grant basically covers the equipment, but does not cover the cost of getting the electricity from the wires and to the actual equipment. So it's a big question mark. It's probably not going to happen this year. We're gonna see if there's more money available next year. And basically, if it comes to this meeting, we're choosing the vendor. It'll go through the city council to approve it. And then we wait and see if there's additional grant money to move forward. Which will, like I said, it could be this year, but most likely it'll be next year.
Okay.
So that's where it's at with that.
We keep trying.
Yes.
We keep trying, and yeah, there's another company wanted to put in Linkwell system, which is a different system. The other companies were much more expensive. So yeah, so Pisa was the most realistic. We were initially planning on doing both the charging stations across the street from the Amtrak, as well as a fast charger by the dog park, but the federal credits have dried up. No longer available, and I don't think there's any, like I said, there's probably not enough National Grid money to have it happen. So if we get one or the other, it would be great, depending upon what's available. So that's that decision. But I've confirmed this with Haley, so she thinks that's a good thing. All right, moving forward. A little rabbit. Arbor Day, someone else talk.
We have a proposal in from Rise and Run for the street and tree plantings. I believe it's 11 trees. This includes some monies that we encumbered from last year, but the grant needs to be, the proposal needs to be revised for that. This also includes relocating a tree that an owner originally requested and then rejected. So that's being moved to another location as well. It's right now coming at around 13,000, which is within our budget, but then we'll be cutting that down because that will have the 1,600 from last year as well. So it will be even less than that potentially. So I followed up with Rise and Run about that. The most recent snafu, though, may be that Rob Perry has informed me that because of a new New York state law, this project, because it's a municipal project, must be done with a part of the legislation called prevailing wages.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning there's a reporting system involved where we have to, the supplier has to report their laborers and all of that. We currently work with a sort of small scale supplier who does, I think, a lot of private work rather than municipal work. So we didn't do an RFP because we didn't actually have to. So we move forward assuming that. I queried them about whether they can handle that issue around prevailing wages. And that just went out today because they just sent me the quote yesterday. So if they cannot, that kind of means we're back to square one on finding someone to do that street tree planting. Yeah,
So what we're talking about is for Rise and Run or whomever.
yeah,
To actually do the labor of the planting.
Yeah.
And that's where we get into wages.
yes, exactly. They have to
rather
go
than
through,
just deliver a product.
yeah, they have to go through a whole reporting system is the best of my understanding.
Yes.
It's kind of beyond my
Right.
scope of understanding. So, if that comes to pass, we may be looking at trying to do a fall planting and having to do a proper RFP, saying, you must do this as part of your quote, and see if we get any responses on that. This is a new complication that,
This is only all for street tree plantings, or is this a different?
this is for street tree planting specifically, because it's municipal work
Oh, right, right.
going through the city. They well may come back to us and say, we know exactly what you're talking about, no problem. So crossing fingers, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Community solar, Josh?
Brad from Power Markets met with the mayor, who then suggested that, the mayor suggested that Brad reach out to Margaret to present to the common council, and I believe an email was sent on March 24th or so.
Yeah, I saw another email.
So I don't know if anything has come onto an agenda for the council, but hopefully a upcoming presentation and MOU draft that was already sent to her will be reviewed. He'll present to the council and we'll be able to finally get this through. That's my hope.
All right, I'll follow up with Margaret as well as
Thank you.
Okay, great. Next, Harry Howard Tree Grants. How's that looking?
It's fine. I just actually dropped off today, the little tree labels, the new ones,
Yay.
to Calvin.
Oh,
for the
great.
Kids to, work on, and some supplies for them. He's gonna call me tomorrow morning. I didn't think he was actually gonna be in, because schools are out. But, Peter Frank sent me an email, he's like, yeah, he's around, so.
Oh.
So those are going. I've been in touch with, the vice principal of Montgomery L, and, you know, they were discussing with Joshua Del Rio, the things that are gonna happen on Earth Day. So they wanna kind of bring us all together, that, so that's going along. The only, still outstanding thing is the photo contest, but, I'm gonna write up a press release about that and about Earth Day in general and about Arbor Day, in a little bit.
Thank you.
So.
And at those, do we need any other, they still have like some funds sitting in their account for this grant. Do we need to put any other money against it
For,
for us, for the future?
I don't know.
Yeah,
For the Henry Howard grant?
Huh?
For the Henry Howard grant?
the Harry Howard Street Tree Grant, there's like $2,700
Left.
that the DEC has. So they asked me if we had any outstanding invoices.
Oh, okay, well, we
You
could.
just forward the labels.
I
Yeah,
think you said the
I think-
label.
Yeah, so, and I just bought some, marine varnish,
Yeah.
for the kids and some brushes. I ordered the zip ties because I'm
Oh, yeah.
not gonna be using twine again. And Danielle pointed out that the kids are going. So we had
We got
special zip
relief of
ties.
those lip ties.
Yeah.
Oh.
That happened.
So, hopefully these will last more than a season or two, because when I went out in the mud, swear, I think there were just 2 left, unfortunately, in all the trees. The rest of them had gone away. I think the kids have just, so,
Wait, oh, not the trees.
the labels,
The labels.
not the trees. No, trees gone down. The trees are, the trees look
It
great
just scared me.
overall.
Yeah,
No,
to the
sorry.
trees.
The
Strong
trees look
kids.
fine. Trees unscathed as
And
well.
those trees planted back in November, how do they look?
They look fine.
Yeah,
There's only one that's a little,
Yeah.
because they didn't stake them like they did the previous trees, you should really stake them for a year
Yeah.
for the wind. That didn't happen, but I think they'll be fine.
did DC need to come back and look at that? I mean,
They will.
yeah,
Like, well, he's gonna be right across, one of the arborists is gonna be right across the street, and he's gonna help us to, tag or whatever. We have to coordinate this week. I have a
Oh,
meeting with
great.
them. So, yeah,
okay, cool,
but I think we'll be fine. I think we have all live trees right now.
thank God.
But I,
Yes, send me those receipts.
Yeah.
I'll-
I forwarded them to you before.
All of them?
Oh, not those.
Not those, I
Yeah.
haven't sent them.
Thank you.
Okay,
Because I
yeah,
just-
send me the new one, but I
literally
do have these ones, like the labels, but we have, I like to do like one big.
Yeah.
Yes,
I just realized if we're gonna talk to Rhinebeck or Saugerties about, tree ordinance, maybe they have somebody that does street tree plantings that have the prevailing wage. So we could ask them to.
that's a good idea.
Well, we'll see what
Right,
residents.
yeah, exactly, yeah, like a backup plan.
Even so, the timing may start to become a big problem to get done by the spring.
Yeah,
Hey, now if we do a full planting, we do a full.
It is what it is, yeah.
Well, we're
Keep
gonna
trying.
As long as we spend the money, with it, or at least have a contracted out, yes. Okay, great, thank you for that. I'll follow up on Mr. Paygrade. Climates, the Columbia County Climate Smart Committee. So, that resolution is going through this month, so if you could be official, that would be great. And then, what else? And then maybe I can tie this in with the county grant for earth tree planting, which we received from Sonia this week. So what should I do? Should I just fill out this form? What are we doing with that?
For the Columbia County Soil and Water District Grant Fund for Earth Day plantings. There's some
Oh.
trees available. Sonia reached out to, I don't know, all of us, a few
Oh,
of
right,
them,
right,
just recently, just to say that
right.
Hudson has not applied and there's funding available.
Well, part of that, I think we received money from Hudson Development Corporation.
Yeah.
For their Earth Day plant,
or the DEC seedling.
yes,
Right.
the seedlings.
This is a different program.
Yes, correct. Sorry.
Lots of trees.
Could be additional funding for,
That would be great.
For street trees. So I think I forwarded it to everyone.
Yes,
So what should we do? Should we apply?
I think so. Why not?
We don't want to lose.
Is it
Mhm.
only for street trees?
What is it for? I don't know. It's a good question.
If it's flexible, then I think yes, but if it's only street trees, I guess there's probably enough folks that want it, yeah, but. Because,
Probably enough what?
there's enough folks that want a street tree, yeah,
We actually haven't had any more additional
No.
requests
okay.
at this point. And of course, the challenge is we could just choose spots to put them, but there's no agreement to maintain that
Right.
with the homeowner.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many people know that this is available.
Right,
Post it, from time to time on Instagram. It's on our webpage.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay, let me go back.
I mean, I won't go so far as to use other platforms.
Yeah.
I mean, the Register Star, other organizations. I mean, if we're really interested in
Yeah.
getting out to everybody.
So this application, sorry, I'm reading it, is, if we're hosting an Earth Day event, which we can include the farmer's market event, it is one
it's only
native
one
bulb.
tree, it looks like,
It's one tree.
oh, wow.
7 to 10 feet tall.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a big tree,
So, right, trees be 7 to 10 feet tall, generally above deer browse height, delivered by Columbia County, planting location. Applicants may select among a small list. So read the application, but it's one tree.
But I think Sonia said that we could ignore or someone said we could ignore if we're having an Earth Day planting. That didn't seem as relevant.
Oh, an actual Earth Day planting, yeah. I think as long as we fill out this form, we'll get it back to them. We'll get a tree. But we have to have the holes dug and everything ready.
Big tree.
It's basically the same thing, the same application, similar application form that we use for the residents.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. That we have to sign an obligatory waiver, okay,
And there's 6 tree species that we need to identify which of the 6 we're interested in.
I forwarded this, I believe, to everyone here. So you should have the application too, I hope.
There's also a DEC grant for the helper thing that you were mentioning. So, yes, it's still open. There's also an application for that.
I like all these ideas, but of course the challenge is again, management of them all. You know, who does these applications, who then maintains these things?
It's a good question. We have 2 more,
Needed 3 more members.
we need 3 more members.
But as you often say, we don't want to become the Parks Department.
We're not.
Yeah.
We can't maintain. I mean,
Yeah.
people sign off on maintaining these trees and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what people expect. We're a bunch of volunteers. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so look over the application. I'm probably not the best person to pick a tree.
You definitely wanna do this?
Uh,
We definitely wanna do it.
We
There's
should.
higher, I'm surprised that the tree's so big, there's higher mortality with larger trees, so. It's just like, I don't know, that makes me worried.
Well, everyone read it and then let's make a
I
decision.
agree. Yeah.
There's an empty tree pit on Warren Street.
There you go. Really, we should do that.
And
That-
service berries are on the smaller
We're gonna have
side,
to
so that's one of the
Take a
6 on the
table
list.
for that tree.
On a tangent to that, one of the people who reached out for a tree this year was someone on Warren Street who is a landscape architect.
Mhm.
She and I had some correspondence and she thought it was National Grid that was covering these choices. I did send her what Rob had sort of outlined, what the issue
Where the
is
conduit's underground.
around why we can't plant right now. She'd initially sort of shown some interest in helping us figure something out, but I have not heard back from her since, so.
Did we follow up with Rob about like bushes or shrub, like not large shrubs, but like not trees?
No, not yet.
After CSC.
Okay, thank you, when it's out to Colarusso. The thank you that we did, that you wrote for Colarusso that went out.
I don't know.
Okay, that's on me, that's on me, fine. Got it.
have a handout too, from Carol.
Oh, okay, Carol, yes?
Yes, I'm having a hard time following this conversation, but if you're looking for a place to plant a large tree, I would suggest that the Hudson Dog Park needs a tree. And it certainly would benefit a lot of people who come to the dog park. It wouldn't be a street tree, but it might qualify.
Yes.
And there's no issue planting where, inside the dog park itself, Carol?
Inside the dog park on the berm that we created to receive trees.
Oh. Fair,
Bingo.
there you
Is
go.
this an area that the dogs are into? I'm just worried about, survival again.
Yeah,
For
Well.
We have
being.
We have people who use the dog park who know how to protect a tree from dogs. So I am concerned about having a tree that will not be toxic in any way to the dogs, but we do have some expertise in our number about protecting trees from dogs.
It would be easy to plant.
Yes.
It's easy to plant.
Mhm.
All right, fair, Carol. There you go.
Put a little fence or a little
Right.
barrier around it.
Yes.
Until it's larger.
Yeah.
All right, so,
The question is there someone who would water them?
Probably, the problem would be that there would be too many people watering it, so.
Yes.
And I
That's
don't
good.
mean the dogs, I mean humans with the hose.
Go humans.
Right.
the dogs do have a good life in the dog park. They're well cared for, and I'm sure a tree would be equally cared for. So, all right, well, there you go. Unless anyone has any other ideas. One tree, there you go, Carol. All right, I'll fill out the form. Okay, next, Hudson Greenkeepers on the.
No
agenda?
movement.
No
It needs
movement.
to be a form of help identify species.
Yes, okay, we'll talk. Yeah, you tell me which species to put in. City sidewalks, we're still holding up on that. Open space law on the agenda. Anyone? Well,
I don't know if it's open space law, but it was the open space grant.
oh, sorry.
I think, if that's what we were looking at,
Yeah,
like a few months ago.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready for this. I think
Alright.
we have to have a plan.
Yeah.
all right, hold on.
And it's a good idea because, I don't think it's very competitive. I think that they don't get a lot of applications based on how many times they extended the deadline. That's my assumption. But I think if we kind of put our heads together and think of a plan, I think it could be really helpful.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
maybe after we get through the climate.
That's what I mean, like, we have to think about. it.
Yeah,
We have to
in
break
a couple
it up.
months when we
Yeah.
reconvene. The Hudson Farms,
Sorry, I think it's like every year around like early winter, late winter, early spring for the deadline, if it's the same time every year. So, yeah, if we start conversations like end of summer, I think that would be okay.
okay, great, thank you. The Hudson Farmers Market, we have people who are willing to be there on the opening day there, which is Saturday, next Saturday, the 25th.
I am currently slated to do that. I'm assuming I can.
Okay,
I'm on.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
yeah,
Two Saturdays for me.
And I'm supposed to follow up. with
yes,
Karen.
correct.
The April 25th.
April 25th is the one we're slated to be there, yes. So, and they have like light bulbs and maybe people can sign up for street trees and.
Yeah.
I have literature, although I do not know where the banner is.
I was gonna email Aaron on that.
Aaron probably has the banner. Yeah, okay, great. The HDC grant seedling project.
Yes. We just need to, I think Jess, from HDC said that we could talk about payment. Is that
Yes, so there is a bank account at the HDC,
right? Mhm.
okay, which, the, CAC has used in the past when we received a grant.
Mhm.
So we would just need someone, either one of you, who wants to be a signor on that account, and this way they could just put the money into the account.
I don't understand.
We can't, as a municipality, it becomes cumbersome for us to just like take in money.
Yeah,
So the HDC has offered themselves like a pass-through
yeah,
for any sort of like grant money, right?
right. So what do we have to do?
So there's a bank account that they have for us already set up.
Yeah,
I just need one of you who wants to be, like have a card or like access to the account. So we can pay bills.
sure.
Fine. I will set that up.
Realtor.
Audio Daniels.
A bunch of trees. End of April, early May, we're gonna have a lot of trees. Like 500.
500, but there's,
Bare root, yeah, bare root. They're tiny.
Little ones.
So there's like, yeah, 455.
and so what do we do? What are we gonna do with that?
Gotta plan them. We're gonna have our own Earth Day, Arbor Day.
Okay.
All right.
Happening quickly.
Is there a place
Promenade and waterfront and, Sam talked to DPW about, the whole,
It's fine. Oakdale, Promenade,
oh,
Waterfront.
not Oakdale. Not Oakdale.
no, why?
We were just doing promenade and waterfront for this.
But also, yeah, no, but Oakdale can be. looped
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah,
oh, good.
yeah.
Fine,
They want to be looked in, so.
great, perfect, wonderful, thank you.
Okay.
All right, great. So, okay, so for May, there's, speaking of Oakdale, they'll be presenting to us in May about
Yeah,
Peter Frank, right, great, so that's next month. Gas stove study, anything we should talk about?
It was just that I forwarded you all the proposed resolution wording.
Mm.
I don't know if you've looked at that yet. Okay. That was for us to give something to the council to consider
The local resolution.
a local resolution.
So, do we want to put that forward this month?
I think we could, it's very simple, I mean,
Would one of you be available at the informal meeting to answer any questions if it gets on the agenda?
I don't have the bandwidth right now, unfortunately.
That's fine, that's the question. Yeah,
I don't have much bandwidth. When is it from?
you know what, let me forward the resolution, I mean, I don't know if I haven't forwarded it to Margaret yet and see what they say. She could bounce it off the legal committee first, and then see where they want to go with it. They might come back, yeah, yeah.
Do something. Needs to be done for it, I can do.
Oh, yeah? Want to speak to the council on gas stove
I
resolution?
mean, I just learned about it through the email, but I'm happy to.
That'd be great. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, about just putting warning labels on stoves, so it's pretty simple resolution.
Right, that's all they want to do is put warning labels on stoves.
Yep.
On gas stoves, that says what, don't,
So it creates toxic chemicals.
Says run your vent fan.
Yeah.
Right. Don't use this stove unless you have better ventilation.
Open a window.
Open a window.
open a window. I have gas stoves, so I should.
I've been running my vent fan about.
Well, so do I, and he tested my stove,
Is it-
but I always run the vent, but.
Mine was off the charts, even with the vent running,
Really?
even in my daughter's bedroom. And
Now I can
What was
run
off,
my air.
what was off the
The
charts?
toxins that build up in the air as the gas stove runs.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
It's quite, they're quite dangerous. It's
Quite
for health,
exciting.
long-term health, gas stoves. They're terrible for you, actually.
What about those gas heaters? I shouldn't even ask. You know,
That's
the
different. Well,
Well,
ventless gas heaters.
I don't actually know. which-
I'm afraid to ask now.
Everybody gotta get electric.
All right, you know what, that's a good one.
Food.
You know, good question.
right.
Question. So, anyway, let's go on. You know what, I'll send it to Margaret. She could bounce it off the legal and see if she has any other questions. The SUNY application grant.
Okay, it's kicking into gear now, finally, the other stuff is approved, their reg part. And, yeah, so we have new improved posters
Oh,
that, hopefully we can, I don't know if we can post on the city side or whatever, but there's one in Spanish and one in English.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
one of the weekends, but
So anyway, yeah, so at events like maybe opening of,
or Earth Day.
and, anything, basically, like Oakdale thing and anything you can think of where there are people congregating, we want to have this is the sort of intro, brochure to get people to be interested in the program, and if they are, then they may opt in to take the survey. So they want their data for Hudson. It's more difficult than Poughkeepsie, I think, because we're small.
Mm.
But, anyhow, we're just trying to spread the word and get people engaged.
Miles is very friendly with like dropping these off and they'll keep them at the register.
So anywhere we can, again, post it on social media. You know, the food pantry, the senior center,
I'll take one
library.
from Farmers Market or library.
Yeah,
farmers
library.
market. Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
so,
library.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense too.
yeah. Okay, great.
That would be another good place.
Oh,
Adam,
all right, great. All right, thank you very much.
so, yeah, it's going, we'll see.
Great. Okay, anything else? Anyone else? Questions? Comments? Fun little anecdotes?
Oh, if anybody wants to think of a name for the photo contest for the Harry Howard trees, please use your creative inclination.
Let's start with an H for the alliteration of Harry Potter.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, no.
I had one other thing too. Jason Foster, just put up a air monitoring unit on his home, but also on TSL apparently. So if anyone's interested in, Open Space Limited. If anyone at some point is interested in data on air quality, locally collected data.
Oh, really?
He's happy to share data or talk about the devices, but
That's great.
just for a future reference.
That's great. Okay, anyone else, anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved, adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for playing.